Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I, as always, just want to thank you all. Thank you to all the old subscribers, the new subscribers. I've reached, I like every single day when I see even just one more new subscriber, it just means the world to me. I can't thank you all enough for all the views and just everything. It truly, I have really no words that I can express to actually thank you all, other than just saying thank you. But I know I say it every single video, and I just want you to know I do not take any of you for granted. So if you are someone new, please come join the Gamer Dad party, family, whatever you want to call it. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button. If you like this video, check out some of the other ones. This is actually going to be the 6th video in this series for Buy Now Before Rare. And I have a couple of games here for you that I've done research on. I think people might already have inside of their collections. And I just feel that if you don't, maybe you might want to be on the lookout for them, because I do feel that the prices for them will increase. And caveat being, not financial advice. I say this in front of every single one of these Buy Now Before Rares. I don't want anyone going out spending money that they shouldn't, trying to go off and to get these games and thinking that it is financial advice for like buying, I don't know how many different copies, thinking that they're going to go and strike it rich or anything else like that. I don't want that on anyone's head, especially mine. But with that all out of the way, let's get into the video. Oh, wait. Please do. I said it in the previous videos. I do have a Twitter account. Please do consider going over there on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Search in the search bar for GamerDad RPGs, and you should find it there with my face. And find me on there. Hit that follow button. I still only have 2 followers, but I would like to get some more and get some bleed over effect between the 2 different platforms. Maybe help me to keep growing and reach new heights. And a very special shout out. I had intended to it and I just remembered it, but congratulations, I believe is in order for Switch Addiction reaching 1,000 subscribers. That is a very big milestone for us small creators, just to be able to reach up to get that point. And very big congratulations to him. And if you are someone new to this channel, you haven't checked him out, please go on over there. I am actually think I'm fairly safe to say that he's a friend of the channel. So just go on over there, check him out, maybe hit that subscribe button, get his subscriber count up, check out some of his other videos and all that other good stuff. Now with all that out of the way, now we can actually get into the video, which I know is what all y'all are here for. So first 2 games that we have here on the list, very big games, Nintendo exclusives for Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3. 2 is actually a remaster for a game that came out on the 3DS. I did not play it on 3DS. This is my first time playing it. It was a very great game. I enjoyed my time with it. It is a solo game, so obviously I just had to play it by myself. And it came out last year, June of 2024, if I'm not mistaken. And then this one actually didn't do too well for sales. I believe I wrote down it did 1.57 million sales, which isn't too bad. I mean, for most Nintendo games, selling over 1 million copies is actually a pretty big deal. And then you have, for 3, it was a much bigger success. Sold over 14 million units. And it was actually not making it just the best-selling Luigi's Mansion game, but actually one of the top-selling games for the entire console on the Switch library. So, and then that's a pretty big deal. And both of these games being Nintendo exclusives, and there's actually rumors going around that a fourth one is in the works. I just feel that, especially if the fourth one comes to fruition, that people are going to want to start, if they haven't already, they're going to want to start trying to play some of the other Luigi's Mansions. And obviously, for modern consoles, these are the only two that you really have to be able to play. Yeah, you can do the Nintendo Switch Online to be able to play the original Luigi's Mansion, which I wish they would just port it on over to an actual cartridge onto the Switch, and I'm surprised that they have not done already. But even if it never does come to fruition, the prices of these games, if you actually look at them, they've kind of reached a point where it doesn't look like they're going to be going any lower. And I mean, excluding for sales. I mean, Luigi's Mansion 3 Black Friday sales. I mean, you can get it for $40 right now, which is a pretty good deal. And I'm fairly certain you can bank on these games not getting any reprints for them. And so I just feel that with Nintendo exclusives, possible fourth one coming out, just all these things are compiling together. And so the pricing for itself is either just going to stay at where it is, because if you just look at the pricing, that kind of hasn't really fluctuated too much, or it's going to go up just because you're not going to be able to find them around anymore. And so next two games that we actually have. You have Little Nightmares, the Complete Edition, and Little Nightmares 2. Now, these are puzzle platformer horror, in case you haven't picked up on the theme for this. These are actually all horror-themed games. So, yes, these are puzzle platformer horror adventure games. They've received positive reviews, and the franchise itself, I tried to look for like Switch specifics, but the sales data and everything for that actually isn't released out to the public. So the closest thing I could find was that the franchise itself has sold 20 million units. That's across all platforms worldwide. And with the release recently for Little Nightmares 3, it did actually see a slight increase in the price, nothing too big. I mean, probably it's like a couple of dollars. But the low point for each of these games, it looks like it's been reached, and it's been holding like relatively stable. And this first game in particular is actually, I feel that it's going to get looked at a little bit more, since there is a Switch 2 version, but the way they handled it is really weird, because if you pre-ordered 3, you got a free upgrade to a enhanced version of the first game for all the other consoles except for the Switch. If you want it for the Switch 2 version, you basically have to buy the game over again. And which, I don't know, I find it really weird. But if you actually just want to get the very first one, it's like $15 cheaper than just getting the Nintendo Switch 2 enhanced version. And this first, I did not see if the Switch 2 version does include all of the DLC, but this one here for the Switch does include all the DLC. So I just feel that those things compiling together are just going to make the franchise, especially if it continues being as popular as it is, selling as well as it is, if it gets even a fourth game in the series. So I just feel that that's going to make the price go up in the future a little bit more from where it is. Now, this next game that I actually have here, that was kind of like a big one, more of a, this one came to fruition as I was researching and putting all this stuff together, was suggested by a friend, and he was talking about this game, and it's for Corpse Party Tetralogy Pack. Yeah, if you notice, it is a Japanese or Asian version, and there's a reason for that, because first it came out, was here, the Asian release came out, and then it was a couple of months ago, Xseed announced that they were going to be trying to bring this game or version of this to the West. And then after that, there wasn't any more news about it. And then they started having rumors, and kind of release dates weren't being, there was no updates about anything. And then all of a sudden it was like kind of like being on hiatus. And then as of Friday, like a couple of days ago from this recording, Xseed did another announcement saying that the Western release was canceled due to, I want to say it was just due to restrictions and everything that Nintendo was placing on it for the Western audiences. And so that makes that this Asian version is the only version that's out there. So, I mean, and if you actually try to go through and look on the import sites, such as for VGP or PlayAsia, they are all sold out. So the only way you're going to be able to find these right now, currently, is on like eBay and Mercari, in like those, I don't know if, what is it, third-party people just selling the games that they've gotten, and then they're just trying to make a profit off of them. So I've actually went and looked at the pricing for this ever since they did the announcement for the cancellation, and the pricing for them is actually already going up. If you look at the standard edition for going like new and sealed, there's already multiple listings on there for close to $100. The average one that you could find them for is roughly around like $65. I actually got one of the very last one of the last copies off of PlayAsia for $35, but then including like discounts and other stuff like that. It's got it for cheaper than that. But still, this is actually, I just feel like right now, especially if the other sites don't get any restocks in, that means that what is out there is what's out there. And the price for this is just gonna, I just feel that it's gonna end up like going through the roof, especially if a whole bunch of people start clamoring for this and wanting to pick up these games. And yeah, then you have eBay, and eBay is just going to be trying to jack up the price for as much as they want. Just that's just how eBay works. So the very next game that I have on here is Dead by Daylight. Now, this is actually a online multiplayer horror survival game. It was released in 2019 on the Switch, and initially when it came out, it had mixed reviews, but since its release, the player base for it has just grown and has actually reached a point to such a huge success that it could actually boast 60 million players across all of its platforms by, I believe it was in November of 2023. And so I don't know how well that's just the last update that they had for the player count. So I don't know what it currently is, but they've added in a bunch more features to this game. Like they've added in for being able to play for cross-platforming. So if your friend has it on Xbox or PlayStation and you have it for the Switch, y'all would still be able to play together. And then they actually, more recently, did I don't know if it's a patch or an update or whatever you want to call it, but they made it so that your save files for different platforms would be able to transfer to different accounts. So they're still working on the game even to this day, and it's got so many different characters and patches and everything else that they've gone and added in for killers of other popular movies, like for Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, and I know there's another one I can't think off the top of my head, but basically what it is one person gets the killer searching for the other 4 people that are supposed to be the survivors, and you got to survive. Try to get some generators open that will create exits. Otherwise, you all get sacrificed to the entity. And so, why is this on the list? As I don't see, even with as popular as it is, I don't see it getting a reprint. And I don't really see it anywhere else, like at used game stores, GameStop, or anything else like that. Only place I've ever seen it on is for shopping online. I mean, maybe you can see it at your local game stores, but not at mine. And I also feel that because there actually is a movie that is in development, and which company? Blumhouse. Yes, Blumhouse was actually one of the companies that was helping to try to bring this in. So if the movie turns out to be successful, and there's people out there that haven't heard of this game or don't know anything about it, I feel that movie will actually bleed over and cause people to want to try and to play this. And with everything going on with Xbox, that it only leaves like for the PlayStation and the Switch. And if you were to be able to play this game, I think that probably being able to have like the internet and be able to play it like in handheld mode would probably be a better way to be able to play this game. Just saying, that's just my own opinion. Don't take my word for it. But and if you actually check the price charting for this, you'll see that it's not very expensive right now, but it just looks like the price has been holding like really steady. And it's been like the past 5 years, it hasn't really fluctuated all that much. I think it was last year you saw it took like a short little spike, but then it kind of went back down to around that $20 price range. I mean, and that's even for new. So something fairly easy that you could pick up for right now, and I just think that you should probably try to do it now before anything unforeseen happens and then the price starts going up. I just don't see it going any lower than what it currently is. Then the very last game that we have on this list is Signalis. This is actually published by Humble Games, released in 2022, and it got really good reviews. It actually won a lot of awards for best indie game and some other awards. I can't really remember what they are off the top of my head, but the graphical style of this game resembles very much of like the early PlayStation era, and it took a lot of inspiration from the 2 popular horror franchises of Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and incorporated those into the gameplay. And it's sold as of now, it's getting up there close to 1 million units sold. It's 885,000 units sold for the last report that they did for it. So why is this on the list? If you actually look at it, it has already received one reprint, and I don't see it getting another one. So the what's out there is what's out there, and so the stock for them is going to start drying up. And if you actually look at the pricing for like price charting, it looks crazy. I mean, it was like pretty much steady, and then all of a sudden, July of 2024, it starts going like way up. I mean, even now, if you look at it for brand new, you're looking at some people are selling for like $150. So I was looking at this and I was like, what is going on with this game? It wasn't that much when I bought it. So why is it saying this much? And so then I went and did some more research on it. And so the units that are the ones that are selling for $100 or more is the first print, because they included a Polaroid. The second one, like I got mine for brand new, there's no Polaroid in there. I trust me, when I saw the thing when it's mentioned about it, I went back and looked. I was like, did I miss this? Just wanted to see. So, but if you're actually, for the second print, you're looking for this brand new, you're looking for around $45 to $60. And just looking at the pricing for it, for what it's selling for, and especially that first print, if you have that, hold on to that. But this game just looks like it's going to just go up in price. If for the past few years, it hasn't dipped really much below retail for brand new. And so I just see that it's just gonna end up going up as the stock dwindles, and as more people get turned on to it and they learn about it, which is kind of what I'm doing, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, it's just gonna get harder and harder to find. And so 7 horror games actually, and this actually would have been ideal, kind of more to do it last month, but I already had that planned out, and then I would have missed out on what happened to Corpse Party, because it happened just this past few days. So I hope you all like this video. If you like some more, maybe if you have some suggestions for games that you think will go out there, will be that they may become rare, I'll take a look. I can do some research on them, see if maybe I can include them in a future video. Or if there's some games out there, what are you playing that you think I might want to play? And I will try my best to go through, look, find them if they're a reasonable price, check them out. I can they can be in a future community spotlight video. I got one already in the works. I'm actually looking for just like one more game to be able to add to it, because I'd like to have 5. So, with that all out of the way, I hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you all next time.